Alpha.
What's happening, everybody?
Photography. What a passion, isn't it? But for many of us it goes beyond capturing images. Whether you do it for creative expression, personal exploration, documentation of life, it doesn't matter. What matters is the connection with art, design and emotion through visual storytelling. But how did it start? For me, it started with photo photography. You see, I chef for a living. A job I need to be very grateful for because it took me everywhere I wanted to go. While I was coming up with new dishes, I thought I'd start taking pictures of what I do and posting it on Instagram, like, why not? I was forcefully met with reality though. Food changes quickly. You need to be prepared to shoot rapidly, especially when dealing with items like ice cream, hot food and anything that is prone to melting or drying out. It was so hard, but incredibly rewarding at the end of the day. The first camera I bought for this was the Canon 1300D. Super entry-level camera, but it followed me everywhere I went. I was shooting just JPEGs and in full auto mode as I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I just wanted to point at things I like and fire the shutter without getting overwhelmed by the manual settings. But despite that, I'm still very proud with the results. When I was not traveling and just shooting food, the lack of a flippy screen became really noticeable because I needed to frame the shot from different angles. So I sold the camera and bought a Canon 77D, and that made things much easier to handle. By this time though, the pandemic had hit, so I found myself indoor and nowhere to travel. I started wandering around Oxford where I live, and I quickly realized that I enjoy shooting at night the most. Online I was seeing all these amazing creators taking these incredible shots in low light situations, but no matter how much I tried, I couldn't replicate any of those. So I started researching, and the spiral began. All of a sudden I was hit with things like dynamic range, sensor size, mirrorless, depth of field, aspect ratio, bokeh. And in all of these, there was one camera that kept coming out continuously, praised for the low light capabilities and the abilities to shoot in a variety of environments. Enter the Sony a7 III, a marvel that not only exceeded expectation, but became an irreplaceable companion. A camera that literally changed my life, and to this day I still deeply regret selling, mostly for the emotional side of it. For the first time, I started going to London, not for fun, but for photos. My gaze shifted upwards. The world of low-angle views became an obsession. Each building was so uniquely designed, and before I knew it, that very London architecture that was once overlooked in the hustle and bustle of the city became artistic through my lens. But there was something else that really caught my attention. Something that became my solitary reason for going to shoot in London. The Tube. What I love the most about the London Underground system is the fascinating mix of history and modernity. The older parts of the Underground can evoke a sense of nostalgia, with their classic design, dimly lit platforms and vintage aesthetic. On the other end, the modern parts of the station display cutting-edge design, with sleek lines and metal finishes, an absolute work of art. But fast forward a year or so, with the exponential rise of reels, shorts and whatnot, I wanted to give video a go. Not necessarily in the short-form content, which I've never been a huge fan of, but at least YouTube. Although the a7 III was and still is a great camera, it was lacking in video capabilities like the 10 bits 422 and the flippy screen. 2 years ago, Sony released a new camera, the a7 Mark IV, which filled both of those gaps for me and even more. I was happy that I had the new camera, but shooting video is an art by itself, and a very challenging one, and also really expensive. Now you need lights, microphone, steady tripod, powerful laptop to edit, gimbal, music and sound effect, and there is new stuff coming out on a daily basis. It's a never-ending cycle. But do you really need all of this stuff? Yes, because it makes your life so much easier. Let's be honest, it is absolutely possible to achieve good results without much gear, but at what cost? Let's assume you want to get good audio with a cheap microphone. The amount of time you have to spend into tweaking, optimizing and enhancing is really not worth it. And if you multiply that for all the cheap gear you've got, it becomes hours, if not days. Now, I'm not saying go out there and spend all of your money on photography gear. I didn't do that. It's a thing that I actually built over time. I also use gear as a reward. As I see the improvement, I'm pushed to do more. But it's easy to get caught into the trap of seeking the latest and greatest equipment without fully maximizing what you already have. Keep an eye on your own motivation and be mindful of the balance between gear and creative development. Easier said than done, I know. But what if you're just starting out? If you are watching this video, chances are you already have a camera. Don't get caught up into the social media rabbit hole. There is almost nothing creative about posting online anymore. If you wanna make it, you have to do what the algorithm tells you to do. How can you even call that creative? My advice would be to focus on finding your niche. What is it that you like shooting? What is it that will make you go out for hours and shoot? Is it landscapes? Architecture? Street photography perhaps? All of them? Just try them out and see what brings you joy the most. But in all of these, you might be asking yourself, why is he not mentioning the importance of knowing camera settings? I'll tell you, modern day cameras do most of the job for you if you let them to, and this is without even mentioning what the editing software can achieve. The only thing you have to focus on if you're a beginner is to start. Once you have an anchor point and you find something to capture that makes you happy, learn the in-depth of camera settings to apply your own unique style, and that's about it. But be aware that the world of photography is dynamic. With technology advancement, techniques and trends happening really quickly, it is essential to learn and adapt to these changes. Just don't forget to get fully immersed into it. Because before starting taking those perfect shots, take a moment to appreciate the details, the play of light and shadows, the colors and the emotions you are trying to capture. And once all of those emotions are in set, the only thing that is left for you to do is just And here we are at the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. I'm putting more effort into this video, but it takes me a long time to script them and schedule the whole thing, but I'm enjoying the whole process, I guarantee you. If you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. Check the description box below for the social media links and other useful information. Until next time, take care and see ya.